enormous pride and of a little pleasure that I open this State of the Town debate for only the second time in our town's history with a Conservative-controlled administration. Our administration's core mission will be to make this council transformative for the people that live in Harlow. The council, as indeed all local government, needs to take stock and grasp the post-pandemic opportunity to change and be more responsive, to be a modern council that reflects people's priorities. We will be an enabling council, one that supports the people of our marvellous town to achieve their life's ambitions. We have before us a journey, Chair, and we will spend the summer crafting the council's new corporate plan, the roadmap for the next few years of delivery. That plan must and will be one that makes the changes that people want to see, that makes Harlow the best place to live, to work, to raise a family. Chair, I'm often informed that history is the best arbiter for today's problems. It's something of an occupational hazard if you are, as I am, married to a history teacher. But take 25 years ago, Chair, 1996. The Conservatives were well into a second decade of power after a shock general election win. The England football team had sadly just lost in the Euros at Wembley on penalties. And here in Harlow, the Playhouse was taking its first tentative steps in reopening following being closed by the then ruling Labour administration after many, many years of financial mismanagement. God, what has changed? It was also at this time, Chair, that I became active in local politics, and I've since seen a pattern emerge. Every time a town suffers from Labour's complacency, neglect and misrule, it's the Conservatives that residents elect to sort things out. Chair, we will not let them down. How pleased I am that later this year we can celebrate together the 50th anniversary of the Playhouse, and whilst I am leader of the council and the Conservatives are in charge, I pledge the Playhouse will always be safe in our hands. As a Conservative, I understand that political differences are healthy, but political affiliation should take a back seat when doing the right thing for those who send us here. It was therefore bitterly disappointing to me and heartbreaking for residents to see in the last year the former administration leaving some of the unprecedented government funding languishing in the bank instead of moving heaven and earth to quickly help our struggling businesses desperately trying to keep afloat during the terrible pandemic. Other more honourable members would have chosen to resign in shame and face the electorate. The former administration, though, said they'd stand on their record. Well, the people of Harlow gave them an answer. Residents that have never voted Conservative before sent Conservative councillors to this chamber, and we are humbled by the trust placed in us by those residents, and we do not underestimate the challenge ahead. But, Chair, we will not let them down. I make no apology for my party being the party of business, understanding as we do its businesses, particularly small and medium businesses, that ensure a local economy thrives and that thousands of hard-working local families have a secure pay packet at the end of the month. We will be meeting with businesses directly to understand how we as a council can help them succeed and what practical messages we can help take to drive forward the local economy. But my message to business tonight, Chair, is plain and simple. Harlow is back and it's open for business. Now I can see some glares from the members opposite. Truths are often hard to swallow, but I want to make them an offer tonight in the interests of our town. One side of political debate rarely has all the answers, Chair. So I say to the Leader of the Opposition and his team, if you want to spend time fighting shadows and opposing by press release, then that's your choice. If, however, you understand as we do that coming out of this pandemic we have a hell of a job to do, to rebalance our local economy, to shield the third sector, to empower and support our businesses, to lay the foundations for future growth, housing and employment, and to deliver equality for our of opportunity for our young people, then I say in all sincerity, work with us, help us, support us, because our success is Harlow's success. And Chair, what an extraordinary 18 months most of us have lived through. This shared experience of ours has taken its toll on the town and the country, both emotionally, physically, mentally, socially, and sadly economically. We have worked tirelessly to serve our residents, and when I sum up, I would like to offer later some specific thanks to people. But the government has spent unprecedented amounts of money to fight this awful virus, money which has kept people in jobs and thrown our businesses and charitable sectors a real lifeline. We would be naive in the extreme, though, Chair, if we were to believe that as we emerge from the end of this pandemic, that financial constraints will not be placed upon all of us, including those of us in local government. It's only the economically illiterate that don't understand that such a bill will need to be eventually paid back. I understand it's a worrying time, and for many people, they'll understand that as Conservatives, we will rightly cut our cloth accordingly. But let me make a commitment to the people of Harlow. We will embark on this journey with an overriding principle. It will never be our intention to make any savings required to balance the book by cutting our frontline services. Despite what the opposition say, we will do all we can to preserve, protect and enhance the much-loved frontline facilities so cherished by our residents. The Playhouse, Pets Corner, Harlow Museum, to name but a few, are jewels in the town's crown, and I will protect them at all costs. In the coming days, Chair, the Cabinet members and I are meeting with senior leadership to continue to formulate plans and models of a number of different financial scenarios so we're best placed to secure our important facilities. And we want to search for additional opportunities that will deliver efficiencies and savings to ensure value for money for our public, including reviewing sharing resources with neighbouring authorities. And look at the statement of intent that we have up there, that we placed up there in our last administration, and I want to re-deliver on those, Chair. Now, as the American pastor Rick Warren famously said, we're products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners to it. With this in mind, I want to turn to the future. While undoubtedly there are likely to be tough times, I don't want anyone in this chamber or beyond to believe that my ambition only extends to managing the council and a consolidation of what we currently have. In my opinion, the council from too long has suffered from too little ambition and too little aspiration. Our town deserves better. Now, Chair, we've made specific commitments that my team is prepared to achieve and deliver. I want to seize opportunities. We will think creatively and recognise there are solutions to the challenges that we face. And, Chair, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that we have all the answers to all of the questions. In fact, don't believe any member of the public, any politician who tells you that they do have all the answers. And neither am I arrogant enough to believe that only a good idea can come from us. We have enormous expertise and talent in this council, and our brilliant staff, and in the intellect and common sense of our residents of this town. And so with that in mind, tonight I want to announce something, Chair. I'm going to be launching tonight the My Idea Harlow. I'm asking members of the public to share their thoughts and ideas of what they would like to see from the council. I've got a very clear plan and manifesto that we stood on, but I'm also interested to hear what the public have to say. They can write to me directly using the email myidea@harlow.gov.uk. And no matter who you are or where you come from, if you're a Harlow resident or a Harlow business, I'd love to hear ideas from you. I'd love to hear your views. Chair, I'm also going to ask each of our staff members to contribute an idea. It could be something that could include helping their role, something we don't do that I think they should, or just something that may positively impact our residents. And I'll distribute an email via briefing to all of the staff. If we're truly going to go forward together, Chair, everyone should have the opportunity to have their say, and this council will listen. Chair, as I mentioned, in November we celebrate 50 years of Harlow Playhouse, and next year we've got an incredible milestone, the platinum anniversary of Her Majesty. We've got the Rugby World Cup, we've got the Women's Euros, in which I hope the ladies are able to go one better than the men. But the men have got the World Cup in Qatar. We've got the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham on the back of what I hope is a great Olympics. And after the secluded and isolated period we've all endured in the last 18 months, I'll be asking council staff to look at ways in which we can celebrate some of those events, and many others, publicly and together, so that Harlow can help move on from COVID. Chair, we lived through tough times, but we emerged blinking into the sunlight with a new administration determined to deliver on the priorities of our residents. Braced to meet the challenges ahead, face on and find opportunities in difficulties encountered to help Harlow grow, thrive and prosper. We'll come together, we'll work together, celebrate together and be together. We'll launch a historic programme of regeneration. We will enhance and protect valued services whilst delivering value for money. We'll work collaboratively with others where possible. We'll consolidate what is good, eliminate what doesn't work, think big for the future and lay the foundations for a better, greater Harlow. The confidence of our town is being re-established from a decade of decline, and I truly believe in the ability of our staff, the determination of all in Harlow, and the ingenuity, resilience and commitment of our residents. Chair, the state of our town is strong, but we will do what we can to make it even stronger. I commend this statement to the Chamber.